What's up everybody, Jesse here, or Game Over Jesse as some of you all may know me, and today we have some awesome news, very quick news, about Dark Horse releasing the Legend of Zelda Encyclopedia. We have Hyrule Historia, the Green Book, the first, what everybody was calling the Bible of Zelda fans. Then we had the Big Red Book, the Arts and Artifacts book, and now we have the Blue Encyclopedia, which has a lot of new information straight from Nintendo that fans never really knew before. This article comes from Go Nintendo, and a quick description says, "The Legend of Zelda Encyclopedia, comprehensive guide to the series from the first game to Twilight Princess HD. 320-page volume filled with explanations and descriptions of everything from items and potions to relationships between characters. Includes maps, illustrations, and screen caps. Features an exclusive interview with series producer Aonuma. $40 release price. Due out April 2018 from Dark Horse Publishing." Now, the important thing to know about this is, since it is coming from Dark Horse Publishing for Nintendo, what a lot of people don't necessarily realize is the same thing happened with Hyrule Historia. Yes, it's great, it had what Nintendo's calling the official timeline, but since then, when Triforce Heroes released, and I think one other time, Nintendo has actually retconned some of the stuff that they said, or at least the writer of Hyrule Historia said in that book. On the Downfall timeline, there was A Link to the Past, Link's Awakening, and the Oracle games. It was the same Link in all four of those games. But then later on, they came out and said that Triforce Heroes takes place in a completely separate timeline. It doesn't exist, it's not canon. And then they updated once again, said yes, Triforce Heroes is canon. In fact, you play as the exact same Link from A Link Between Worlds. The third change actually came with the Japanese version of the Legend of Zelda Encyclopedia, where on the timeline, again, and taking place in the Downfall timeline, they took those four games, A Link to the Past, Link's Awakening, and the two Oracle games. Now the Oracle games actually take place with a different Link than the Link from A Link to the Past, which it was originally. So Nintendo's been very back and forth with this. They also had something similar with Termina, which has been the topic of a huge debate in the Zelda fan community. Now, the biggest theory revolving Termina is that it's a dream world, or it's a place where it's all happening in Link's head because Link is dead in Majora's Mask, which isn't true. It is popular because a YouTuber with millions of followers and subscribers made a video. So it's the most common and popular Zelda theory. Link is dead. He's not. Nintendo themselves has said this isn't true. And again, with Termina, there has been conflicting reports from Nintendo, which again is why you can't follow these books 100%. You can't look at them as complete fact, more of a guideline. I'm not going to go into everything Hyrule Historia had wrong, which completely contradicted what actually happens in the game, but with Aonuma, there was an interview when they were promoting Majora's Mask 3D, where he said that, hey, Termina is a real physical location located close to Hyrule. We even have Yoshiaki Koizumi, who I probably mispronounced his name, but he was also a director alongside Aonuma on Majora's Mask. He helped come up with the story of Majora's Mask. He even has interviews where he first says, hey, it's a parallel side story during the original productions, but then a few months later, after the game released, there were more follow-up interviews where he actually says, hey, it's a physical location, it's not a dream world, it's not a parallel world, it actually exists. And this goes even further with the release of Majora's Mask 3D, where both directors say, hey, it's a physical world. But then we have Hyrule Historia and all of these theorists saying that it's not. The thing about Hyrule Historia, it was not written by Aonuma. Miyamoto didn't sit down and write every little thing about this. The timeline, everything about Hyrule Historia, which is why it has so much wrong, was written by other people. It was those people's ideas, concepts, and everything, and then Nintendo just gives an okay for it. They don't have say in every little thing that went into it. They can look at it and say, no, this isn't true, change this, change that, but obviously they didn't look too close into it, which again is why Nintendo, after the book released, has the official timeline fans have been waiting years for. They go and retcon the timeline. They say a timeline you've spent years waiting for, not completely accurate. Here's an updated one. A few months later, that second version we had, not completely accurate either. Here's a third version. And we're getting this third version in the Legend of Zelda Encyclopedia. My thoughts, another 2-3 years, maybe 5 years from now, there'll be another book. We have the big green book, the blue book, the red book. Maybe they'll come out with a purple book, I believe. That's all 4 swords colors, red, blue, green, purple. So there's probably going to be a purple book if they follow that sort of code, come out soon in the next few years where it changes once again. We'll probably have to wait until then to get Nintendo's official statement on where Breath of the Wild takes place. Because again, The Legend of Zelda Encyclopedia, I'm used to saying Hyrule Historia, doesn't really have that much about Breath of the Wild. It is up until Twilight Princess HD. It may give a few hints or an overview of Breath of the Wild, but it's not going to focus too much on it. So we're definitely going to expect a follow-up book in the future, especially because all these books end up selling out really quickly and they have to keep putting more and more out. Comment below, let me know if you're interested in buying this, if you're going to pick it up, if you already own the other 2 books. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and thank you for watching. If you enjoy the videos on my channel, please consider subscribing, checking out my second channel focusing on movies and TV shows, and my Patreon where you can join in as a guest in upcoming videos, watch new videos first, you can have me join in and collaborate on videos for your own channel, have custom artwork or custom avatars made of yourself or for your channel, and much more.